Some very interesting and indicative images have been coming out of the crucial 7th round of talks between the Modi government and protesting farmers that's currently still underway. India Today has an inside track on how those talks have gone. But first, look at these images that have been coming in. Farmers and ministers breaking bread together. The ministers eating and helping themselves to the langar that had been brought by the farmers. Remember, in previous rounds of talks, the farmers had refused to eat lunch that was provided by the government at these meetings. Today, the ministers ate the lunch that had been brought by the farmers. We're going to put those images on your screen in just a moment. Lovely images of the ministers and farmers eating together. India Today has accessed exclusive details of the talks. Sources say the centre has refused to repeal the new laws but has assured farmers that they're ready to talk over the minimum support price issue. The centre has also appealed to the farmers to end the agitation as quickly as possible. Union Minister Narendra Tomar and Piyush Goyal joined the farmer union leaders in their langar at Vigyan Bhawan. Four-point agenda for the talks with the centre, which includes modalities to repeal the farm laws and a mechanism to legalize minimum support price, which has been the major demand, one of 4 big demands by the farmers.
आज भी प्रधानमंत्री कह रहे हैं, हम सब सारे लोग बोल रहे हैं, तो हम अपने ऐसे वचन से मुकर कैसे जाएंगे? लोकतंत्र में जो अपनी वचन से मुकर जाता है उसे तो अच्छी सजा यह जनता दे सकती है। लोकतांत्रिक व्यवस्था में यह अधिकार उसे प्राप्त है। जो हम कह रहे हैं उस वचन को पूरा करेंगे और आगे बढ़कर पूरा करेंगे। और मैं पुनः विनम्रतापूर्वक हाथ जोड़कर कहना चाहता हूं अपने किसान भाइयों से कि आप सरकार के प्रतिनिधियों के साथ बैठ रहे हैं, बैठिए, तर्क वितर्क करिए, क्लॉज वाइज डिस्कशन करिए। हाँ ना में मैं समझता हूं कि बातचीत नहीं की जानी चाहिए, तर्कों के आधार पर बातचीत की जानी चाहिए। और यदि सचमुच सरकार को लगेगा कि हमें इस क्लॉज में संशोधन करने की जरूरत है तो सरकार वो संशोधन करने को तैयार है। राहुल जी आयु में तो मुझसे छोटे हैं, लेकिन कृषि के बारे में उनसे मैं ज़्यादा जानता हूं, क्योंकि किसान माँ की कोख से ही पैदा हुआ हूं। इसलिए जिस माँ की कोख से पैदा हुआ हूं और जिस वर्ग में पैदा हुआ हूं, मैं किसान का बेटा हूं, तो कम से कम किसानों के हितों के प्रतिकूल हम लोग कोई काम नहीं कर सकते।
I want to go across to India Today's Poulomi Saha and also Anand Patel, who are reporting from Vigyan Bhawan at this time. We also have with us Abhishek Anand, who's with us live from the Singhu border. To you first, Poulomi, we do have an inside track on these talks. They're still on at this time. The government has refused to, even consider or offer repealing of the laws. But the farmers have also been holding their ground. Is there any forward movement whatsoever?
Well, as of now, no, Shiv. What we've learned from the sources who are, of course, present inside Vigyan Bhawan attending that meeting is that both parties seem to be sticking to their grounds, while the centre is absolutely clear that they will not be repealing these 3 central farm laws. The farmers, of course, are sticking to their demand that they need to be withdrawn. This was, in fact, the first demand in their 4-point agenda ahead of this meeting, and they're sticking to that demand. What we're also learning is that the centre, while, of course, it was was breaking bread with the farmer representatives who are attending this meeting, has also made it clear that as far as the minimum support price is concerned and the legal guarantee which is being sought by farmer unions and farmer groups is concerned, they are very clear. The centre is very clear that you'll have to end your agitation first before you get any such guarantee out of us. We're willing to think about it. We're willing to talk about it, the modalities as to how that can be made possible, if at all. But for that, you need to end your agitation. So it appears that the centre is, while it is making these gestures and the optics are very clear, that the centre is breaking bread with the farmers. The first time that it is, eating with the farmers, having their langar food, which was sent in from the nearest Gurudwara for them. The centre is also very clear that there will be no rolling back of the 3 central farm laws.
Okay, so a lot of symbolism, a lot of positive optics and imagery, Anand, from this seventh round of talks, where you have Piyush Goyal, Narendra Singh Tomar, other ministers eating the food that's been brought by the farmers, breaking bread with them, which in many ways is so symbolic, especially to us here in India, and especially at this time. They are the Annadatas. They've been called the providers. We remember the last time when the farmers refused to eat the food that was brought or served by the government at Vigyan Bhawan. So this in many ways is symbolic. But as Polomi said, as far as the nuts and bolts of the contentious issues is concerned, there is not much forward movement.
Well, yes, Shiv. Unfortunately, this is what the word from inside is. Although what we are hearing from the farmer union leaders who had, taken a break for the lunch, that agenda-wise discussion is going on. So the agenda which was sent by the farmer unions to the central government yesterday, 4-point agenda: 1, repeal the farm laws; 2, written guarantee on the MSP; 3rd, over the pollution issue, stubble burning issue; and the 4th one on the electricity issue. So agenda-wise discussion means the farmers are talking to the government. Now remember, last time when the talks had broken down, you remember the farmers with the placards, yes or no. That was something which led to the deadlock. And after that, we are seeing the talks are happening after almost 20 days of gap. Farmers have been sitting all along this time in 2 to 3 degrees centigrades in open spaces at the borders of Delhi. So the government has also climbed down, Shiv. Look at the words used by the Defence Minister Rajnath Singh in his interview. He's saying the farmers are Annadatas, and those who are calling them Khalistani and Naxals are wrong. So that's a big climb down from the government side as far as the farmer agitation is concerned. And that is the reason why you see the ministers breaking bread with the farmer union leaders. So there's a cordial atmosphere now, which is good for the talks to go ahead, instead of both sides sticking to the rigid stand. And that is the reason why we see the talks are going on inside agenda-wise, point-wise, which the government had said. The farmers' unions, I spoke to one of the leaders who said that the stage 1 was that the government had admitted that there are flaws in the laws. The second stage came when the government agreed for amendments. Now the stage has come. The government must heed into the demand of the farmers that these laws are not good for the farmers. They want new laws, and for that the government will have to repeal them, the existing laws, and then come up with new laws by talking to the farmers. Now, whether that happens remains to be seen, but at the moment all we can say is at least the talks have started, talks have resumed, and they're happening in a cordial atmosphere. Only discussion and dialogue can lead to a resolution, Shiv.
Dialogue is on, but as we've seen in multiple rounds of talks before, the talks have happened, but there is no forward movement. I want to bring Abhishek Anand in. He's from the reporting from the Singhu border, which is the nerve center of this agitation, which is now well over a month old. Abhishek, conciliatory tone struck by Rajnath Singh. A lot of emotion has been put into that message that he sent out to the farmers, talking about, he himself being born to a farmer mother, understanding the issues and wanting to, resolve this issue at the earliest. You also have the breaking of bread together between the ministers and the farmers in Vigyan Bhawan. So a very visible softening of the stand. What is the expectation from the Singhu border? Because so far there is no forward movement visible, Abhishek.
Well, Shiv, as our colleagues already told you, the farmers gave a 4-point agenda, and the first agenda was repealing of all these farm laws. Well, Rajnath Singh might have said that there can be no talks, or the talks can be different, very difficult, if the farmers' stand are hanging between yes or no. As far as the agitation is concerned, Shiv, all of the farmer unions here are here in this bone-chilling weather, and the agenda is very clear. The placards are there. Too many stages have been set up. People are also, farmers are from different states are also coming here together, and the demand on which the farmers are, they are very adamant to repeal all these laws. They are forcing the government to repeal all these laws. What happens in today's meeting will be really interesting, as the government has extended the warmth, and they have also broken bread together. But the first demand of the meeting remains a major concern between, this is the flashpoint actually between the farmers and the government. The farmers want all the 3 new laws repealed, while the government is firm on its stand that they are not going to repeal any law. Amendments are welcomed.
Okay, well, the optics are very welcome. The optics are, signal some positivity after a month-long negativity between both sides. But will those optics translate into any kind of thaw or defreeze of what has been going on between the farmers and the government? It doesn't suggest so, at least thus far. But the talks, like I said, are still very much on. Stay with me, Polami, Anand and Abhishek. Let's just reiterate for our viewers once again the 4 big flashpoints. Here are the demands that the farmers are making that the government is not willing to move back on. 1, like Abhishek said, a complete rollback of the 3 new farm laws is the first major and so far non-negotiable demand. The government stand is, forget about rollback. It's not going to happen. We are ready to discuss the clauses and ready to possibly mutually implement some amendments, but no repealing of these 3 laws. Demand number 2, the farmers are saying bring a law to guarantee minimum support price. Basically legalize minimum support price, put it into the legislation itself. The government's stand is that written assurance on MSP is possible. Demand number 3, the farmers want the proposed electricity law to be scrapped. The government's stand is that power subsidy to farmers can continue. So that can actually meet that demand. Demand number 4 from the farmers, stop penalizing farmers for stubble burning. The government stand is can take back the stubble ordinance. So the government is willing to take a few steps back as far as some of these other demands are concerned. But on the chief demand of the 3 farm laws being repealed, the government has so far said, let's talk about it clause by clause. This cannot be a yes or no situation.
Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.